Hello again, everyone. This is Rome Business Radio. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
And I'm Thomas Kislet with the Rome Floyd Chamber.
Hello, Thomas with the Rome Floyd Chamber. How are you?
Good. How are you, Roger? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. We are in a Zoom room. For those of you listening to the audio on podcast, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we've got a great mix of local people here in the Rome Floyd County, Northwest Georgia area. We want to celebrate business. We want to create connections. We want to let people share their stories. Thomas, if you don't mind, as the representative from the chamber, if you would go around the room here and introduce everybody.
Sure, absolutely. So let me go ahead with ladies first. Mary Hardin Thornton is with our local Parks and Rec. Hello, Mary Hardin Thornton. Nice to have you. Then we have, who else do we have? Chris Kozelle with Berry College. Hello, I know Chris very well. Nice to have you on.
Nice to be on. Thank you.
Then we have Jesse Demonbreun-Chapman. I never said your last name for some reason. It's just my buddy Jesse. So, hey Jesse, and he's with CRBI with the Coosa River Basin Initiative, and I can't wait to hear the latest news from there. And then our newest business owner in Rome and newest member actually of the Rome Floyd Chamber, Andy Wright with X Up Grill. Hey,
morning,
everybody.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Chris, hello.
Hello.
Mary Hardin Thornton, hello.
Hi, good morning.
And Jesse, I'm just going to say Jesse because your last name is a mouthful for me. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Doing great. Good morning.
Did Thomas pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of, sort of. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. As I said, we just want to celebrate business, and following Thomas's lead here, I guess we'll do ladies first. Chris, over at Berry, you are the Director of Public Relations and kind of a media film liaison. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
So just tell me a little bit about what all your job entails. And I think people forget about the natural beauty of Berry College being just a natural soundstage, if you will, for movies and film production. But that's happened off and on over the years. So if you could just kind of touch on your duties at Berry.
Absolutely. Well, we are talking pre-COVID or post-COVID? My duties have changed significantly with COVID in terms of just doing more internal communications and managing that. But in normal times, we have speakers and lectures and all kinds of interesting things that we invite the community to. And so that's my job to promote and raise awareness on all the different activities we have going on campus on a normal year.
But it's changed a little bit, I guess, the last 12 months, more than a little bit, changed a lot.
It has. And we really hate that because we love to welcome our community onto campus just to enjoy the beauty of it for hiking and biking. And we recently built or renovated a new auditorium for our concerts. It's just beautiful, but we haven't been able to celebrate that in the normal way because of the pandemic. So we are hoping to get back to that at some point and welcome the community.
Fantastic. Mary, let's check in with you over at Rome Floyd Parks and Rec. We were joking before the podcast started. Parks and Rec is probably one of my top 10 favorite shows of all time. And do you live that every day?
Well, I did live it a little bit more when I had Emma Wells' job, but there are definitely some interesting things. And today I really wanted to talk about our lock and dam campground. So yes, kind of chiming in with what Chris was talking about. This time last year, we were having to close down, and we're part of Floyd County government. And, fishermen are kind of naturally, self-distancing, but we did have to close the park and the campground for a while. And there's huge fishing out there. I don't know how many people are familiar with this campground, but it's a 73-acre park that's on the National Register of Historic Landmarks. And it was originally it's called the Mayo Lock and Dam. Now, I'm not Selena Tilley from the History Center, but I've been kind of researching it a little bit. But the Army Corps of Engineers built this in 1913, and it was in service till 1941. So there's lots of people who come out to fish, but there's a lot of history there, and we have 31 sites that you can camp on. So when we closed last year, I got like a lot of mean phone calls from fishermen because the crappie and the white stripe something was running, and everybody was like really ready to fish. So we do a great job with our fishing, and it's very close to a brushy branch, which is another great fishing spot. So these fishermen are very serious, and you would think it's just like some people from like Rome and Cave Spring. No, it is people from all over the country that come here, and they know about our fishing. So it's pretty exciting. So I'm so glad we've got it back opened up for the season now. So yeah.
So was that the major hit to Parks and Rec through COVID?
No, it was the ball sports, truly, because this is baseball time. So that was so sad. Was having to refund. At first everybody thought it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you're like, oh, this is going to be a long time. So just having to try to have a sport and then not having registering and thinking we could do it, and then just waiting because the rules changed kind of about every 3 days when people were, the governor would have something and then the federal government would have, so it was really a challenge to figure out how to maneuver and navigate all of it. But I think we've done a great job, and sports has really come back. I also do our gymnastics. I do anything that's not a ball sport. So that's the lock and dam and gymnastics. So it's kind of crazy, but yes, we have, talking about the Parks and Rec thing, we do sell live bait out there. And this guy came in one day and he looked like he had been in a cave for a while. He had the full, ZZ Top beard and the piranha eating t-shirt. And he's like, I need some grubs. And I'm like, whoa, okay, well, we just have red wigglers and night crawlers and some minnows. And I said, what are you going to do with the grubs? And he said he was going to trap armadillos. So, I mean, there's something to learn every day.
That actually sounds like a scene from the TV show Parks and Rec.
Yes,
Chris,
yes.
I know you wanted to weigh in quickly about the fishing.
Yeah, right. My in-laws are from Missouri, and they're snowbirds that go down to Florida, and so they always come through Rome on their way down and way back, and they love Lock and Dam. They park at the same spot right by the river. And my father-in-law is a huge fisherman, so we get all sorts of yummy fish when they come. So. Thank you.
Okay, Jesse, the Coosa River Basin Initiative. For those that are listening that may not be familiar, what's that all about?
So we are a small nonprofit that works on clean water issues in Northwest Georgia and Northeast Alabama. So we are tasked with keeping the rivers and creeks clean, and this time of year during the legislative session, we're also very active lobbying at the Capitol for better, more comprehensive protections for water statewide.
Mm-hmm. So as a nonprofit, are you based on fundraising?
Yeah, so we have a mixture of grants and individual donors, and once upon a time we used to have fundraising events, but that doesn't happen anymore. So much like everybody else, we've been greatly impacted, and a lot has changed, but a lot stays the same. The rivers still flow, and they still need somebody looking out for them, and that's what we're doing.
That's right. The Oostanala and the Etowah merged to form the mighty Coosa in downtown Rome.
Right. And speaking of Lock and Dam, generally, we're hoping that this year, at the end of our paddling season, we have a harvest moon paddle where we paddle at night on the Coosa because it's so open and lovely, especially when the moon is bright. And we always take out at that harrowing staircase at Lock and Dam. So we'll have to get together later on and maybe put together a work day.
Yeah. That'd be great. And just jumping in again, like there are a lot of SPLOST projects that CRBI and the city and the county have worked on together for river access because it's such a big deal in Rome.
Sure. So much of our way of life is around those rivers. Andy Wright with Eggs Up Grill. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about your establishment?
Absolutely. So we're Eggs Up Grill. We're in the East Bend Shopping Center. just behind Texas Roadhouse in Rome. And we serve breakfast and lunch 7 days a week, all day. Well, I should qualify all day, 6 to 2 p.m. daily.
Gotcha. So, and this is a franchise, correct? And this is a new thing for Rome?
It is a new thing for Rome. It is a franchise. My wife and I are partners in the business, and we have the franchise for Rome as well as for Canton. We opened Canton at the end of December and opened Rome yesterday.
Oh, congratulations. How's business?
Business has been great. We couldn't be more pleased with the reception in both Rome and Canton. I told somebody the other day that I did the pro forma and all the projections before COVID hit in November of 2019, and we have exceeded our expectations in Canton after 3 months of operations. We've far exceeded our expectations and been real pleased with that. So far, the business in Rome has been really fantastic. I told the team before we got on the call that I jumped in my car today because they're doing saw cutting for our neighbor, concrete cutting in the next door neighbor in our store. So I figured you guys would be much more pleased with me for being in my car today.
Well, it is, I guess, still under construction. Some places or being moved into, I guess, slowly but surely. But just talk about the new shopping center that you're a part of.
It's really amazing. We've got Texas Roadhouse is kind of on the corner for us. So if you're in the back parking lot of Texas Roadhouse, which is always teeming with people, you'll see the Eggs Up sign. Across the street is Home Depot. Down the way is Five Below. It's actually just to my left as I sit at the pickup window. An Old Navy is coming. A Kohl's is coming. There's a Wingstop down the way, a Jersey Mike's, a McAllister's, Panda Express, and my kids always loved Panda Express because my mom, I was Andy, and my mom always called me Andy Panda, and my son became aware of that. We've got a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 18-year-old child, and they've had a lot of fun calling me Panda, and whenever they see Panda Express, they make the connection. But there's also a Chipotle and a couple other brands are coming to the center.
Well, it's interesting. I was driving by a few months ago with my father, and I made a comment about, wow, I'm feeling old. I can remember when that piece of property was East Rome High School. I took the SAT there. And it's just where I happened to be assigned to go take the SAT. I did not go to school there, but East Rome High School. And my father said, I remember when it was a cornfield.
Yeah.
Before it was East Rome. So anyway, it's great to see it develop like it has been. And my gosh, I'm seeing cars there all the time as I drive. So good luck.
Well, it's a beautiful complex. I'll tell you, I just in the first three people that were talking, I heard the fishing connection from Mary to Chris to the water being clean, coming to the fish. So we got so many connections, and I wanted to draw another one. Part of what makes Eggs Up Grill really special is community engagement and community involvement. And one of the things we do, Jesse, if you guys are interested, we do pancake suppers as fundraisers in the restaurant. So if you ever want to do a pancake supper for, a charity event to raise money, we would love to host it, and we would give 100% of the profits to whatever the cause is that we're talking about. So that goes not only for you and your team, Jesse, but anybody else who's listening in.
Well, we will absolutely take you up on that offer. I was perusing y'all's menu on Sunday, gleefully excited for your arrival.
Well, thank you. We're super excited to be here.
Well,
I can eat lunch there today if I want to.
I see a table. There's a table that's open, ready to accommodate you. So we'll look forward to seeing you.
Okay, awesome.
Well, ironically, I hate to keep revisiting the fact that I'm a big fan of the TV show Parks and Rec, but a kind of an underlying joke through that is they all love breakfast food. They think breakfast food is the best food.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It's funny, Thomas. Andy was finding his own theme. Thomas, that's normally your job week to week to kind of see the theme of how our guests all connect.
Right. I mean, it's already going on, and people are already connecting, and it's awesome. Like Jesse is getting out of the water, where Mary Hardin is with Lock and Dam, and Andy is supporting Jesse, and Chris is too. It's awesome, but I already found something, Roger. The common theme today is partnerships. Or everything that everybody has in common is something with the letter P. For instance, X Up Grill with Andy, he already mentioned it. He has a great passion, for the community, and of course he serves awesome pancakes, potatoes, and poached eggs. And then we have CRBI, my friends there, and they do an awesome job because here it comes with P again. They protect, they preserve, and they do paddle trips. And they are also looking for a part-time assistant. So there you go. Then also, Berry College, it's a private college. They prepare personal and professional development, and they practice along the path, with tons of possibilities coming up. And then, of course, Parks and Rec, they provide programs. They have pavilions, they do parties, they have parky, they have playgrounds, and primitive camping as well. So there you go.
Very good.
Well,
some connections everywhere.
Thomas, that was perfect. How long did you prepare?
It was a pleasure, preparing. Promoting. That's our job at the chamber. We promote prosperity. So there you go.
Promote prosperity. I love that.
From a self-promotion perspective, I'll throw in a couple more P's. At Eggs Up, we're big proponents of veterans, police, and fire, and first responders, as well as active duty. So with that, we give 15% off to all first responders and veterans. So I threw a couple more P's in there for you.
Fantastic. I want to talk movie making. Chris, I'm just kind of fascinated. Just over the course of time that we may not even know about, what movies have done a scene or two or more at Berry?
Sure. Well, before my time, Berry is known for the filming of Sweet Home Alabama. So if you're familiar with the wedding scene there, that was filmed at Oak Hill. And when you visit Oak Hill, you can actually see the stairway that Reese Witherspoon hid under. So that's fun. So that's one of our older ones. Remember the Titans, very famous movie, was filmed all over Berry's campus. The dining hall scene with the football players was filmed up at Ford. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of outside scenes were filmed on our beautiful campus, among the forests and trees when they were running and doing exercises. As far as newer films, right before COVID, we were filming with Netflix, and it shut down and finished right before we shut down. And so they're going to pick that back up in the fall. I hear that it was Stranger Things, although I can't confirm.
Okay, so you don't necessarily know.
I do know.
Oh, you do know, but you can't confirm. I get it. Wink, wink.
Right. But everybody in town has confirmed.
Right. So. But I mean, do you sometimes not know?
No, I know. Okay. But a lot of times the bigger films like Marvel and DC, they'll come to town. I work with Lisa Smith in the tourism department, who also, has a lot of films that approach her to work in Rome. And so they're very confidential in terms of letting the community know what's going on, just so that they can get their work done and get out without a lot of distractions.
So just out of curiosity, so there's a there's a person representing a movie or a movie studio, and they're looking for locations. So, I mean, how does that work? They come to you and then you take them all over campus and they go, okay, that spot will be perfect. Or do they ever come and look and not come back?
Often. Yes. One of the disadvantages we have here in Rome is that we are outside of the film zone of Atlanta, which is basically a 30-mile zone of production because it just gets more expensive the further out they go. So if we do get a production here, they're going to spend a decent amount of time usually, and it's going to be a bigger budget production that can afford to come outside where the film zone is. But it usually starts with a film scout contacting me. And right now they contact me about every other week. They're really ramping up for production right now in the spring and summer. And they'll contact me and say, we're looking for a scene in a biology lab, or we need something that resembles a castle. And so they come out and I just take them around. They take pictures, ask lots of questions, and then they go back to their team. And if what they saw is what they want, then they come back with a couple more people that are more visual production people. And then they do the same thing. And so then they take it back. And so it's a longer process than just coming out and saying, yeah, this is great. I mean, it has to go through 2 or 3 rounds of producers. And eventually, if the director comes out, it's pretty much a sealed deal. So, and that's how it works for the city as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Mary Hardin Thornton, let's talk Parks and Rec. Now that you mentioned fishing and that reopening, do you just sense that the residents of Rome, Floyd County, is everybody just ready to get back to normal? Get outside. Spring is coming. Let's get the pandemic behind us. Let's go to the park.
Yes, exactly. Yes. One of my cousins told me she was giving up the pandemic for Lent. And I said, yeah, sounds good to me. But yes, especially, we also have a dog park downtown too at Ridge Ferry. And, mercifully, we were able to offer all of our parks to be open during, I think we were only closed like a couple of weeks. We just waiting to figure everything out. So it was kind of strange. We had to close the bathrooms because remember there was no toilet paper. And so everybody stole the toilet paper. So then we had to do that. But then we realized like everybody's going out. So Rome, Floyd Parks and Rec has 27 parks and facilities that we maintain every day. And they're picking up trash, they're mowing the grass, and the parks really, really get used. We've got a lot of construction going on right now at Ridge Ferry Park with the gas line. So that's kind of forced people to explore some of the other parks we have. We have a really great facility at Etowah, and that's where our senior center is. And those people are really ready to get back together. They do the mountain music and they drink coffee and they play pool, and I think they've missed their sense of community too. So there's so many programs that we offer, the pickleball, the daily pickleball at Gilbreth Center and at the Thornton Center. There's just so much to do. And I think Thomas said the word pavilion. You can have a outside birthday party at any of our pavilions. So there's been a lot of kind of interest in that. So I think people have really discovered it in a different way and our uses through, the COVID crisis. But we do, yeah, our block and dam is fantastic. That fishing pier is great. It's got a cleaning station, and we are supposed to be getting a new sort of halfway decent, Jesse, boat ramp down at the entry part where the boat launch is. The side area, we really want to get the I'm trying to call it the Myra H. What's our riverboat called? The Roman Holiday. I want to get that back, and that's a great thing for Rome, Floyd County folks to rent and use and see everything on the river. It is funny. Jesse can attest to this, and I'm sure anybody that's ever gone paddling. I'm sure Andy and I know Chris has, because we have Boy Scouts. So Andy, we will be calling you for that pancake fundraiser dinner. But you'll get on the river and people are like, where am I? They don't understand, like, you're behind Home Depot or you're over here near the Braves Stadium. Like your sense of direction on the water is something completely different. And you could live here your whole life and not understand, where everything connects. So that's such a huge thing. And we're just so thankful that everyone was able to to really be brave and get out and do stuff. I also, Roger, I did our farmers market too. And that was something we were kind of scared, like they weren't going to let us do it. And I was like, no, the farmers have grown this food and they want to sell it, and everybody did great. So yeah, I think you're exactly right. Everybody's kind of done and they want to come back. They're going to be safe. And I think people were fantastic at our farmers markets. So I know people know how to play by the rules, and they want to do it. Our schools were able to stay open for the most part. So I think Roman Floyd County has been a real success story in the world of how we've managed it.
You made an interesting comment there about the rivers. Maybe Jesse can jump in here. When you're on the river, you're seeing the town from a totally different perspective that you probably never considered.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I feel like I've paddled many of Georgia's rivers, and I have two separate maps of the state in my head. There's one as the rivers and creeks flow, and then there's one where the highways go. And I cannot. Now, I have done this for years. I cannot for the life of me combine the two. And so this isn't just like something that's, for the general public. And maybe there are people that have better spatial awareness than me, but I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I paddled from Grizzard down into town. And I'm always confused about where I am. And I'm like, I'll have to mentally go through work to determine which bridge I'm paddling under and which direction that I'm traveling. And it is hilarious to me. And I'll have people ask me, okay, so where are we? And I'll be like, yes, that's an excellent question. If you look over here, there's a bird, and I'm going to figure out while I'm stalling where we are.
Yeah, I know. Turner McCall's around here. I know Turner McCall's around here somewhere.
It's just a different way to see the world, and what a great plug for paddling and enjoying our rivers. Is just a brand new way to see the area that you live in.
If you could talk about. And I guess I'm asking you to do this as the CRBI rep, but as a kid, this is going to sound horrible, and I don't mean it to sound this way, but it's almost like, the city was built around the rivers. It was critically important economically. Then there kind of came a point in time to me where they kind of seemed like the rivers were in the way. Every time you wanted to build a road, you had to build a bridge. And I can remember, they'd shut down this to build that. But now it's part of just lifestyle. People, all the paddling. There was a point in time where that wasn't happening, 30 years ago, I guess. But now it's just a critical, vital part of culture in Rome. Could you talk about that, Jesse, a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's telling that the city of Rome, the size that it is, only exists here in its current form because of those waterways.
Yep.
Because those were the highways before, we had highways and interstates. And so,
people still refer to the Cotton Block.
Yeah, that's where our office is. Yeah. So it's truly fascinating to see. You can kind of see a history lesson in how our perspectives around our waterways have changed over the years. So Rome exists because of those rivers, and then at a certain point, we very literally turned our back on them. Yeah. So all of Broad Street. We have what is now considered prime real estate, and we're finally seeing the opportunities around the River Arts District and what it could mean to highlight those rivers. But we literally put the backside of a whole bunch of brick buildings facing these rivers. And, I think that just really speaks to the full circle. We've come around to viewing that as not only a vital resource for our drinking water and for manufacturing, but for that, kind of third pillar. You have work life, you have home life, and you need that other place to go. And our trail systems, our incredible trail systems, not only, getting to be on the water, but the actual trails that go up and down the Oostanala, the Heritage Trail System. Not many towns are gifted with this level of, recreational opportunities. And it's really thrilling to see not only, the local government, but the people, the residents here fully embracing that shift. Because it's even more recent than 30 years. I went to Barrie in the, early to mid aughts. And I recall even back then, when you drove over the bridges, every once in a while you would see a crazy person on a jet ski, which I always thought was the most terrifying thing on the Oostanala. You'd find a log and that would be it. But other than the occasional crazy person on a jet ski and then John boats in the morning. There was no river activity whatsoever. And now you can't drive downtown without seeing kayaks and paddle boards on roof racks, people floating under the bridge, especially during the summer. And especially last year during the pandemic, it's like everybody was like, well, we can't go anywhere. So it's time to, get a boat and get out on the water. And it's really great to see.
Well, Jesse,
and I will add, Jesse, that the Mount Berry Trail is such a nice addition as well, because you see so much that you could never see before.
Absolutely. We have loved walking that trail, and it's such a great addition. I can't wait for that to continue expanding.
Yeah.
That's
reopened. Andy, have you walked on that trail? It's like Rome's most popular trail behind the post office.
Not yet, and I won't be doing it today, but soon.
Yeah, it starts behind the post office on Martha Berry and wraps around behind the ballpark.
Okay.
Just along the river.
It's beautiful. That's another great partnership thing too, isn't it, Thomas? Another P.
Yeah. But Andy, what Canton and Rome have in common is the Etowah River, actually. So my plan is to have an early breakfast in your Canton store. Hit the kayak, go through a lake. And have a late breakfast, a second breakfast at your Rome location. So.
You have to be paddling fast, Thomas.
Yeah, you'll be moving really fast. I'm looking. We should get a video of that.
Yeah. That's the jet ski. You're gonna need a jet ski.
I get the jet ski. Exactly.
Actually, Jesse, that does beg the question, because I've never done it. You may need to teach me to kayak on the rivers, because I've never done it. I learned to swim in Armurchie Creek. Way back when, but we had a tire swing over the creek in Armurchie. There was a nice little spot where the river, the creek kind of stopped and formed a little pond before it kept flowing. But what are the miles per hour? How fast do the rivers flow? Just out of stupid curiosity.
It really depends. So both the Oostenaula and the Etowah coming into Rome are regulated by lake. So the Oostenaula has Carter's Lake coming from the Coosa Wadi, and the Etowah is completely regulated by Allatoona. And so there is a marked difference in the flow rate of both of those rivers based on whether or not 12 hours ago one of those dams was releasing. And so generally, I think that for folks that are like wanting to understand how much distance they can cover, I think that it's safe to assume that like recreational paddlers, if the river is moving a little bit, are going to be able to easily manage 2 to 3 miles per hour. And if you're really digging in, you can obviously do much faster than that. But that's a pretty safe average.
It's similar to walking. Most people probably walk 2 to 3 miles per hour, but they can pick up the pace if they choose to.
It's not whitewater rafting. You can do it.
Yeah. I was going to say, I understood that. But when you mentioned that both the rivers kind of have different speeds, that's almost like snow skiing. You got the bunny slope. Anyway, let's kind of go around the room here one last time and get some contact information or social media. How can people find out more about you? Chris, let's start with you at Berry.
Sure. Well, we are really hoping after May 8th, when our students graduate, that we will be able to welcome the public back to campus. And we have a Facebook page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and then, of course, berry.edu is our website that a lot of our prospective students go to. We have a great class coming in, one of the largest we've had. So we're very excited.
And if I wanted to get a hold of Reese Witherspoon, can you provide me that?
That was before my time, but I know somebody who knows somebody.
Or any other famous, person that comes to campus. I'll take them to eggs. I'll take them to Eggs Up. Mary Hardin Thornton, Parks and Rec. How can people find out what's going on, what's open, what ball sports are starting, about fishing, website, social media?
Oh yeah, we've got it all. I will do a plug for our book your site. We went to that in December. We went live with that online camping reservation system. We went from truly like a notebook pad and an Excel spreadsheet to book your site. So it was a learning curve, but we've really, really enjoyed it. And it's really fun to see who everybody is coming in. So that if you want to make a camping reservation at one of our 31 sites at the Lock and Dam, you can go to book your site. Of course, you can always find us on the Rome Floyd Parks and Recreation page. You just type in Rome Floyd Parks and Recreation, and it'll pull up, and then it has our current events. And then we do have a good Facebook page and lots of social media. And so and we're everywhere.
And if you want to see a fictional version of Parks and Rec from Pawnee, Indiana,
that's right.
That show is streaming.
Oh
somewhere.
My gosh! Yes, and I have a mural inside the Trading Post too. It's not as exciting as
that's another another underlying theme of Parks and Rec, the TV show. They had murals everywhere. I digress. I don't know why that show keeps coming up. Jesse, how can people help support Coosa River Basin Initiative?
Yeah, well, we are a member and donor-supported nonprofit, and so folks can join as members or make a donation at our website, coosa.org. And if you want to stay most up-to-date on things that we're working on, we can be found on all of the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Coosa River Basin is our handle. And speaking of murals, there's a recent update on our Instagram page. We've got one going up on the Heritage Trail System just behind the library. So we're really excited to see that take off.
Wow. And Andy, one more time, obviously, the contact information for you is come in and have some eggs and bacon, right?
Absolutely. I would just say eggsupgrill.com, and you can jump off from there to all the brand's social media, different places. We've got online ordering that you can get to also through eggsupgrill.com, and we'll look forward to serving you.
Do you have social for local franchises, for your local franchise here?
Our primary effort is through corporate, but we do have local as well.
Okay, fantastic. Thomas, final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Well, it was an excellent show.
Thomas was born in Germany, so English is his second language. So some of these puns.
but if you guys want to be part of, one of these fun shows, or you need any other help from the chamber, Google us, Rome Floyd Chamber. You'll find us on Broad and corner of Riverside Parkway, right across from Doug's Deli. Also on all the social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And just reach out. 2 big events coming up. Our annual meeting is on May 6th, which is at the Brave Stadium. And then April 23rd, we have our annual Confluence, our innovative symposium with some really cool speakers coming up.
Fantastic. Roger. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Was it fun?
It was fun, and now I'm ready to go eat some eggs.
Yes.
I'm hungry myself.
Well, I
love breakfast food.
You got to get there before 2. Fantastic. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate it so much. This has been the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio. Thank you so much for listening.